Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure. Welcome back to WorldBox. Here is the world that I've built in the box, and the concept for today's episode is I'm going to leave it alone. Now, of course I say I'm going to leave it alone, but what I'm actually going to do is every 100 years I'm going to fling a meteorite at the largest population at the time. It doesn't matter if it's the largest kingdom, the largest nation. I will throw it at the largest individual population. So right now that would be the orcs of Mongolia. There. Then you've got the elves, of course, of Peachy Twinkle. The dwarves in Beard and Twerp, which of course is humans. The only other thing I'll do is I'll rename everything we go, but we'll check in on progress every 100 years, just as I fling a meteorite at them and see how they get on. Would you like to see some geographical interest points? I thought you might. Well, first off, we've got Death Demon Fire Island down there. That's super. Right next door to Beard, which I'm sure they'll be thrilled about. We've got a volcano. It's just doing its thing, and that came from a mysterious intergalactic entity exploding on the ground here, which is why this island is filled with zombies and nothing else. We'll see if anyone's stupid enough to try and conquer it. Up north, we've got Penguin Island here. Club Penguin, one may go as far as to call it, if that wasn't copyright infringement. But since they've closed down, I guess it probably isn't. Anything else? Did I do anything else unusual? No, not really. Every island is populated with various different critters. There's a lot of alligators and piranhas and what have you. Oh, there's a water geyser. Tasteful. Over here, we've got a fire wizard who, for reasons best known to himself, is just setting everything on fire all the time. Guess the clue's in the title. Let's see what's happened after 100 years. Okay, we haven't made it to 100 years. No, 80 years have passed, and the population of Beard have got problems because, it's on fire, fundamentally. But I suspect there is an evil mage around here somewhere setting fire to everything because the population's dropping like a stone. Could this be the end of the dwarves before we even meet our first 100-year cycle? Well, no, they're hanging on in there. They are holding in. All right, okay, well, that's fine. Also, on Firewatch, this entire island has burned and rebuilt already twice. There's no one there. It's just regrown. But as you can see, it burned to the ground. Johnny Firemage is getting about a bit. This bit was on fire briefly. So fire. It happens. Yeah. Bogolia's settling in nicely, but they haven't reached the 100-year mark yet. You see, so I can't drop a boulder on them. Time will come. Right then, 100 years in, I've slowed it down so we can see the state of affairs. The Kingdom of Beard has recovered a little. Although they continually are affected by fire-based entities, although it's hard to say for sure whether or not it is the volcano just setting bits of the land on fire. I don't know, I'll have to keep an eye on that, but they're doing okay. They've got a nice island to themselves, but they've been a bit slow on the uptake when it comes to any kind of spread. In third place at the moment is Twerp, who filled out their island magnificently. Let's have a quick look at the old technology they've got going on. Now, you're looking at a dude there. Now, I want to look at the culture. Give me the culture. Here's the culture. Brittany, their one village, is fine, and they operate with balance and dignity. Don't we all? What have they learned so far? A bit of mining, culture spreading, some housing, axes, swords. It's good to see that they've decided that weapons are important at this early stage. Over in Peachy Twinkle, well, the second they figure out a boat, they've got a nice big fat island waiting there for them, but so far they don't seem to be that bothered. Death is skill, apparently. Well, okay, the village of Moonflower has got 144 elves knocking around in there, and they've got pretty much the same technology as the humans, which is a delight. However, our frontrunners at present are the orcs of Mongolia. 156 of them, skill in the sea. Yeah, and the village of Sargot is doing rather nicely. They got any special tech? No, pretty much the same tech as everybody else. And lucky them, they are about to inherit an asteroid. So if we just zoom out a little bit, warning, can kill everyone if it lands on a village. All right, I won't land it on a village then. Bosh. Okay, right, there you go. That's going to give them something to think about for a bit. Possibly for a bit longer, but yeah, their expansion there has gone swimmingly. Let's see what's happened after 200 years. As we enter our 3rd century in the world, we've got a new faction that's emerged, New Peachy, which is centred around the village of Huggy Huggy, has split off from the Peachy Twinkle Empire, and they're making a go for it for themselves up here in the north. Meanwhile, Twerp's going pretty strong over there. The humans, they've spread quite widely. The Beards just don't seem to be interested. I mean, they're quite happy on their little island. Now, as much as they are surrounded by hazards, I mean, you've got Fire Demon Land here, you've got the volcano, you've got the zombies. At the same time, that makes it slightly more difficult for anybody to be their neighbour. But if they were to just hop on a boat and go over there, maybe, they'd probably prosper. Equally, the orcs of Bongolia, they can't be bothered to do anything of any particular note whatsoever. Now, you might go, oh, look, it's obviously the Bongolians are now not in first. Twerp have got a population of 563. And you kind of go, yeah, but you need the villages layer for this now, you see. So if we go to the villages layer, you'll see here are the villages that are up and rolling. And it is in fact Sargot that is in the lead. Only just, but they are in the lead nonetheless, which means that they're going to be the ones on the receiving end of Johnny Meteor, which is over here. I'll be a little bit less generous with them this time. There you go. Cop a load of that. That should put the cat amongst the pigeons, or it should at very least put the Meteor amongst the orcs. Okay, a tremendous moment has just occurred. The orcs of Sargot have invaded Ironbeard, and they're winning by quite a bit as well. This could be the end for the dwarves. They're down to double digits. Here's the king. King's still, he's strutting. He's doing his stuff. But the orcs are all over it now. They're smashing the place up, and it really does not look good for dwarvish culture. Such as it is. Let's back the tempo back up to maximum, see if we can't resolve this before picking up the action. And that's it. No, there you go. Dwarves are gone. Their history. That's it. It's over. We've lost the Beard faction from the world. In the wake of the demise of the dwarves, the world has shaken up quite a bit. Here's all the settlements that we've got going on, and as you can see from the various different colours, we've got factionality going on all over the place. The only original faction managing to hang together being the orcs. Let's go to the kingdom map here, and you'll see here are the kingdoms that currently exist. You've got Twerp with 640 odd. They're doing all right. Neo Twerp though has overtaken them. The Splinter faction breeding like wildfire. The elves had a civil war that lasted for a little while. Peachy Twinkle there being subsumed by Peachy Supreme. New Peachy's broken off. True Peachy down here. The elves, not to be trusted. No, just frankly, just not to be trusted. But culturally, you've got the Twerps over here occupying this level of land. You've got the Twinklies over there, and the Bongolians occupying. Oh, they've set up down there. Oh no, I hadn't seen that. Yeah, Pravand has been set. Excitingly, just about every culture is continually sending ships over to Zombie Island, whereby, there we go, we'll possibly see one now, whereby they disgorge an army of some description, which is rapidly turned into zombies, which goes badly for them. Whether or not the zombies will be able to escape the land and make it to a different island remains to be seen. But it'll be fun if it does. But I'm not interfering. No, the only interference that is permitted. Oh, hold on, we've got some shake-up going on here. This is a civil war ongoing, and the new human faction of Neo Twerp has just taken out a bit of Twerp Central again. Yeah, so that's a fight that's going to keep going for quite some time. Anyway, where is the biggest village of the moment? It looks like it's going. Oh no, it's Huggy Huggy. Huggy Huggy have sneaked into the lead at the worst possible time, which means they get a gift from above. Just slap it in there. Lovely. Oh, and worse still, having been hit by a meteor, all of a sudden, Huggy find themselves in a conflict with, I don't know who are they fighting. Maybe it's a civil war. Given that it's Weepy Blossom, whoever that culture is. It's an elven unit. It's Peachy Supreme. Peachy Supreme making moves there on New Peachy, but nothing doing. Okay, all right. Well, all right. We'll be back with no more news at the turn of the century. Okay, monumentous moment, monumental even, has occurred. The village of Ariana has been overtaken by zombies. And, a Petal Splendor's just gone as well. Is that, yes, more, no, what are you? You are I don't know. It's hard to say. Looks like you're you're elves. Ooh, wow, Elf Civil War. Okay, well, Peachy Splendor's been taken out. Ariana is now a zombie colony as well. The volcano region, clearly just a massive no-go zone at this point. You could be seeing some trouble in Sweet Garland as well here in the year 337. It's certainly, it's all go. We had an attempt at establishing a new colony over there, but the orcs are present, as evidenced by this little orange banner there. Elves trying to settle up a new colony, not happening. The elves are facing enemies on multiple sides, not least of all from within. Well, it's the year 400, and just so much has gone on. Rejecting the rulership of Neo Twerp has seen the emergence in Brittany of the Holy Twerp Empire. Twerp itself still relegated over here to Beyonce. Lost their second colony to Neo Twerp. They tried to establish themselves down south, but they're hanging in there. But with one Twerp, a relative newcomer but quite strong, anything could happen. The only intact empire is in fact Mongolia, who are still ruling the way with 1,000 population in there. The elves, they can't stand each other, frankly. They break apart quicker than they manage to establish anything new. You've got all of these peachy factions going on, and it's ridiculous. Here's the view from the village side of things, and it's a mess. Nobody has been back to either of the zombie islands in a little while. Well, I mean, they keep swinging by, but not a lot comes out of it of a positive nature. No. Well, they're land people, and those people end up being who's this there? What are you? Oh, you're a zombie. Okay, fine. I thought for a moment you might be a real boy, but you're not. Oh, here we go. We got a ruckus going on down there, and that is who indeed are you? Well, you're one of the Twinklies. As is your name. Yeah, that's what they say. Not really going to. Well, I don't know. This could be close. It depends how well kitted out they are. But obviously, with every dead elf, they turn into us. No, they're dead now. All right, forget I spoke. Yeah, no, never mind that. Other things that have happened of interest. You will notice that Fire Island here in the south was conquered by the orcs and has since been turned into something lovely. Quite the holiday destination of Prevend, which is magnificent. Let's have a quick look at the technologies that people have learned so far before I nuke someone. So the orcs, they got armor, yeah, they got shipping, yeah. They got wells and mines and culture spreading and all of this stuff going on here. Knowledge gain is up to 2, not the most advanced, but neither are they least advanced. They haven't picked up any rare knowledge along the way so far. If we go back to, let's have a look at Weepy Blossom, see if they're doing any good. Yeah, you see, they've got rare knowledges galore, which has led to them learning just about everything there is to learn, really. Weaponsmithy, way of life, defence, armour smithing, ancestral knowledge, all of that business. Humans doing any better? If we look at... they're very much... Yeah, very much tuned into the ancient knowledge. So if anything, the odds are against the orcish folk making it through the next couple of 100 years. But the only way we're going to find that out is by letting the next 100 years play out. The question remains, where's the biggest town? It looks like Weepy Blossom on 545 is our biggest village. Yep. Okay, elves, prepare to meet doom. No, you've pressed the wrong button. This? Yeah, click it. Thank you. Doom! Oh, I might have landed it on the king. That'd be unfortunate. But he's elf, so I don't care. Yeah. Okay, well, Weepy Blossom there took a bit of a kick in. Well, half a millennia has passed, and big things are occurring at the moment between the orcs and the elves. For the second time in the last 100 years, is burning. It's been invaded by the elves who've set the place on fire. The war is still raging. As you can see, this is this is the Peachy dynasty here, out of Huggy are making themselves known, and they do seem to have numeric superiority here. Could fall, which would be exciting. Meanwhile, Giggles is also under attack, and this looks like it's an orcish counter coming out of Sargot. The Bongolians are making a move, and they've done it. They've made it happen. Oh, that's a big In fact, mutually assured destruction there, as both villages have gone. In other news, because nothing stays sane for very long, the original kingdom of Twerp was wiped out, and they're back now, known as the realm of the Twerp. Come on, you've got to keep the namings keen, otherwise you'll never know. We've got another new faction over here. Another breakaway. That's definitely what they are. This is the Peachy breakaway. There we go. Yeah, that's it. Right. Yeah. So the way is Peachy have established themselves here in the centre of the map. Peachy Supreme conquered quite a lot of outlying colonies to reinforce their position. Peachy Twinkle is now down to just one island. The Crusade, for a little while, had conquered most of Pure Bloodland, but they didn't manage to hold on to it. Hold on, we paused. Don't pause. There's too much flux. Too much flux going on for that. Who's this? It's the Peachy dynasty. Have spread to the south, but they've got nothing in the way in the middle. The way is Peachy seem to have re-established some contact with this island that was wiped out previously. Bongolia, they're taking a bit of a knock. They were the most stable empire. Yeah, why not? For a long time, but never having any kind of civil war or breakaway or anything along those lines. But I don't know if that's left them vulnerable. Someone will resettle this, and swiftly, I would imagine. But it looks like it's going to come down to a Twerp Peachy showdown at some point in the near future. Let's have a quick look at the old villages going on here. Yeah, there we go. See the orcs are back there with that. That's going to need renaming, but I'll worry about that. That's going to need renaming as well. Flipping heck. You turn your back for 20 seconds and you need to rename everything. So there you go. That's the state of play. Now, where's the big dog? Weepy Blossom looks big, 450. Any advance? Huggy is only 430. Any advance? Sweet Garland's quite close. Oh, no, Bliss. Beg your pardon. Sorry, I completely missed them. All right, well, I missed them once. Not going to miss them again. Wallop. Enjoy. Well, to keep things spicy, I think we might... let's advance this by 500 years. And see where we get to at the millennium mark. Well, 1,000 years have passed, and only two factions now remain. Well, I'd say factions, two races remain. Twinkly have got a population of 5,100 and change, and the Twerps are pushing 3,000 in terms of overall population. Interestingly, the world population itself has never exceeded 10,000. 9,000 rarely, but it has happened. But 10,000 has never happened. There has always been enough death to offset exponential population growth. If we look at the kingdoms that survive, you'll see that things have changed. Oh, this changed in the last 5 minutes. Typical. The orcs, they put up a fight, but they just couldn't stay in there. The original Twerp realm, gone. Peachy Twinkle still exists, and that's good for them. But they've been hemmed in back on this island for a while, having relocated from where they started out. No, it's been all changed. No one stays put, but the movement of the elves has been something to remark upon. As we look at the villages, you will immediately notice the zombies are gone. And they reached a point where there was almost 1,000 zombies across these two islands as they started to progress around the outside of the volcano to get from one island to the other, and constant battles to take the islands paid off eventually as the elves moved in. So there you go, 1,000 years of history, and what can we learn from this? Absolutely nothing. No, not a thing. You can't learn a thing from this. If I were to leave it now for 10,000 years, we'd come back and there would be a few remaining names that stayed the same, but fundamentally everything would have changed. There is no stability. In the grand history of the WorldBox, there is only conquest and war, and disasters. Now the question is, just how many nukes can I drop all at once? Let's not muck about. Let's Tsar Bomber every village and see who's still alive. Now, did I go into this intending to come up with some great learning of some description? No, I really didn't. I went in just go like, oh, let's see what happens if I just let all of these races go at it, in a warfare kind of a sense, for 1,000 years, and let's see how they get on. The answer is they don't really get on at all, least of all with themselves. Now, I've saved at the 1,000 year mark, and I might do a short missive on what happens if I just let it run for 24 hours and see where it gets to. But I've a sneaking suspicion of a couple of things. One, there'll be about 8,000 to 9,000 world population. Two, that's about it. I don't think it's going to change fundamentally from that point on, because there reaches a point of technological evolution whereby the races don't go any further, and once they're level pegging, they kind of thump each other a bit, thump themselves a bit, and that's about your lot. You don't get the crop up. What would be a nice feature to have is, there's been a lot of debate about whether it should have like a modern era thing in there, and you kind of go, well, maybe it should, it doesn't really matter. But what would be good is if you could have heroic characters start to crop up from individual nations that have been settled for however long, and they could end up being dark wizards or druids or what have you, and they could potentially then change the balance of things. What would also be quite nice is if races were to start reshaping the world a little bit to make it more practical for their own use, and in implementing things like animal husbandry and more farming and that kind of behaviour, so that instead of the wildlife being pretty random and pretty sporadic, you would start to get them breeding their own creatures, or maybe you've got someone who's summoning demons or keeping people alive beyond their natural term, as it were. Anyway, it's a fun thing to noodle around with, but I'm done noodling around with it now. So if you want to noodle further, you want to be my guest.